Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining me on a Saturday night to attend this webinar. My name is Giacomo Siniscali, and I'm testing out a new software. I actually tested it yesterday, and I was pretty excited at the end of the test, thinking that everything worked out smoothly. And then I went back and I watched the replay, and I discovered that I wasn't actually sharing any of my screen. I was presenting, talking about different things on my screen, but I wasn't actually sharing it. So I had the video. I'm using Restream, so this video is actually being streamed right now out to a number of different social media sites. It's being streamed to Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, a countless number of Facebook pages, and not Instagram, YouTube, several YouTube pages. So it's being streamed out everywhere. So I had all these videos now that I recorded live, and now they're all over the internet. And I I think I gave a good presentation, but you weren't able to see my screen, and I was referencing a lot of things on my screen. So I had all those videos out there, and I went out and I deleted as many as I could find. But I had a conversation with somebody today, and they said, "Well, you should have just left them up there." I actually, someone did watch the video, and they reached out to me earlier today, so it wasn't for nothing. But anyway, so what I'm doing here, it's Saturday night. Thank you for being here, and we're going to be talking about real estate auctions and while I'm testing this new software. So I'm basically testing out the software and doing this presentation at the same time. So bear with me as I test it out, but I'm definitely going to be giving you some valuable information. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that a presentation or a book or a video or a webinar, because there's a lot of noise out there. I get it. And to capture your attention to be here with me is huge. But do you think that a video, whether it's free or paid, or a book, whether it's borrowed or paid for, or free from a library, or a presentation, can change a person's life, can change their trajectory of where they're headed in life, whether it's in business or health wise, losing weight or reducing anxiety or earning more money? How do you feel about that? Do you think that can actually happen? And I'll tell you how I feel about it. I feel that it absolutely can happen, especially today with all the information that's out there. But there's a lot of misinformation too. I get that. But over 30 years ago, I remember ordering a course online, and it was a few $100s for this course. I don't think I'll name what the name of the course was. Maybe I will. But so I ordered this course. It was a couple $100s. It was over 30 years ago, and I was so excited um, that I was waiting for the postman to deliver. Hopefully, you can hear me. I'll end up watching all the videos later, and I'll say, "Oh my god!" So now you can see my screen, but you couldn't hear me. Um, I have a chat here. Let me see if I could turn that chat overlay on. So if anyone's in the chat, if you want to um, send me a chat, just tell me you can hear me. That would be great. So anyway, I ordered this course, right? This book online after watching an infomercial. And I was so excited that I remember watching the mailman walk up the steps. I was looking through the blinds, and I seen the mailman walking up the steps, and I could still remember his boots, his black boots, as he was walking up the steps with my package in his hand. And I was so excited. And I opened the package, and I opened the book, and I sat there for I don't know how many hours, and I just read it cover to cover. And I implemented the strategies right away. If you can see, I have a ton of books behind me and a lot more. I'm an avid reader, but I implemented the strategies that were in this $300 course. And I have to tell you that it changed the trajectory of my life. It put me on a different path. And I ended up making millions of dollars from the information in this book, in this course. And like I said, it changed my life. And there have been other books that I've read since then that have changed my life. But I want to tell you about. So anyway, I wanted to share that. And if you have any stories like that, or any books that you've read that have had an impact on you, put it in the chat. Let me know. But I want to tell you about um, a time where I was in real estate and I was just kind of tired of traditional real estate. And I don't know if I was getting burned out, but I was a little. I was looking probably for a different opportunity. And it was a Sunday, and I remember it was raining and it was early, and I went to the office because I'm a workaholic and I enjoy working. But I went to the office, and on my desk, I remember my office was perfectly clean, and the only thing on my desk was this auction brochure. I was mailed an auction brochure for an auction that had 90 properties in the auction, and I really had never attended an auction before. But I had this on my desk. It was the only thing on my desk, and it was a Sunday, and it just happened that the auction hadn't started yet. I was in the office early, and I said, I'll grab a coffee and I'll go down to this auction. So I grabbed a coffee and I went down to the auction where it was taking place. It was a live auction, a multi-property auction, and I remember walking in to register, and there was a huge crowd of people all registering and moving around, and there were tables set up and people were helping getting them registered. And I was like, wow, this is pretty exciting. So I went into register, and then I went into the room where they were going to conduct the auction, and they had this big screen with a PowerPoint presentation, projector, and the podium, and all these chairs. There were about 300 or 400 seats, and the room was packed. And I knew a lot of the properties that were in this brochure. I had been in the business for some time, and I knew a lot of these properties. And I don't think I would have purchased any of them. It was a distressed property auction. So I don't think I would have purchased not one of these properties. So I was a little curious to see how this auction was going to turn out. Anyway, so I'm sitting in this crowd, and there was just so much excitement. And the bidding started for the first property, and people were throwing bids up. And I was like, wow. And the next property and the next property. And I watched as the auctioneer sold 90 properties in a few hours, in a matter of an afternoon. And I was so blown away. It was like a bullet hit me straight in the head, a diamond bullet. Um, and I just had this epiphany. I want to learn how to do what that auctioneer just did. This is what I want to do. So that's why I started this webinar with the question: do you think a presentation or a video or a book can change the trajectory of your life? Because that one afternoon of me going to that auction changed my life. As soon as I left that auction, I went back to my office and I looked up auction schools. I wanted to learn how to become a real estate auctioneer. And back then, this was many, many years ago, there weren't many schools that even taught real estate auctioneering. There were a lot of schools that taught how to sell personal property at auction, but there weren't. I think I only found one that taught real estate auctioneering, and it was in Minnesota, I believe. And I called. It was a Sunday, and I called, and it happened to be that the owner worked out of his house, of the owner of the school, and he answered the phone. His name was Rich Haas, and I spoke to him and I told him that I was interested in learning how to sell real estate at auction. Told him what I did and how long I've been in the business, and he said, "Well, I'm having a class. It's starting this coming week." And I said, "Ooh, that's kind of soon for me." And also, I'm afraid to fly because I was in an airplane that almost crashed, and I have a little post traumatic stress disorder from that. And I said, "It's going to be tough. I don't think I can fly." He said, "Listen, this course is going to change your life." He said, "Get on a plane, get out here." And so I did. He talked me into it. Halfway through that training, it was a pretty intensive training. Halfway through the training, I knew that I made the right decision and that it was going to change my life for a second time, So I was on the phone right from the training center. I was at a hotel and I had to stay at a hotel to take the training. And so every night after the training classes ended, I was back in my room and I was on the phone with my assistant back in New York. And I told her that we were going to conduct an auction, a multi-property auction. And I said, we're going to have 100 properties in this auction because the auction that I had attended had 90. I wanted to do 100. And she said, wait, you're not even finished with your training yet. We're going to do an auction when you get back. I said, yeah. And we're going to have 100 properties in the auction. Um, I didn't know how I was going to pull it off, but I just knew that I was going to do it. I was that excited about the business. So I got back to New York and we set up this multi-property auction at a hotel in my town. And we rented the auditorium. We started networking and getting all the listings, doing what we call in the business a joint venture JV, where you can list and sell properties that are listed by other brokers. So most of the properties, most of the 100 properties were JVs, and there were I'd say 20% were our listings. And so it was the night before the auction, and we were at the office. We had put this thing together. It took us about 30 days to put this together, and or 45 maybe. But we had put the auction together, and I had brought all the brochures back from the printer, and we were getting everything ready in the office. Had a huge staff in the office helping get everything ready for the auction the next morning. And someone knocked on our office door. We were just wrapping up, and we had 100 properties to go into this auction. And someone knocked on our office door because it was a Sunday and the office was closed. And my assistant went out and she came back in. She said, "There's someone outside that knows that we're having this auction tomorrow and they want to put a property in." And I said, "No, we're all set. We already have 100 properties. The printers have already printed the brochures, and we can't take any more properties." And my assistant at the time, Beth, actually convinced me, "Look, we'll take this property in the auction. We'll just print a one page and we'll call it like a late edition." So we let the owner come in. We did our due diligence, and we put the property in the auction. So we had actually 101 properties for my first auction out of auction school, and it was a huge success. We charged each participant, each seller, each agent, a $250 insertion fee to have their property in our auction. And as a result, we had a huge advertising budget, 250 times 100. And we were able to generate a lot of traffic and a lot of buyer interest for this auction. And we had over 300 people attend the auction, and we sold the majority of the properties. It was a huge success. Had it turned out differently for my first auction, maybe I probably wouldn't have continued in the business. I don't know, but it was a huge success. I was very excited and continued with selling real estate at auction. I'm also a state-approved real estate instructor. So after a while, I started to teach other brokers and agents how to sell real estate at auction. And then I ended up writing a book on the subject, which is back here, my first book. This is it's kind of outdated now, but I leave it up on it's Real Estate Auction Secrets Exposed. I leave it on Amazon. The auction information is still relevant, but a lot of the strategies, the marketing and the prospecting strategies are outdated. And then I wrote another book just recently, which is here, and we're going to talk about that during this webinar. It's called Selling Real Estate at Auction: The Key to Scaling Your Business and Skyrocketing Your Income. as a real estate agent. So this is my second book, my newest book. I just published it March 4th. So it's only been out. I just actually received these copies that you see here in the mail yesterday. So that's how new the book is. So we're going to talk about that tonight. But what I want to really talk about is you as a real estate agent. The market has changed a lot this past year, right? So, or since the pandemic, but especially this past year. When there was the collapse in 2009, a lot of agents got out of the business, and my business, because I'm in the auction business, really flourished because of all the distressed properties and the foreclosures, and a lot of agents ended up getting out of the business. And then after the collapse, for a few years after the collapse, the market started to turn around when they lowered interest rates, and um, more agents flooded into the business, right? So when I started over 30 years ago in the real estate sales, there were 800,000 agents in the industry. Today, there's over 1.5 million. So the market is really saturated, um, and there's not a lot of inventory. Since COVID, the market was hot for 2019, 2020, right? 2021, went into multiple offer situation, which is a perfect auction scenario. A lot of people think that auctions only work in distressed markets or a buyer's market. But if you noticed during last year, a lot of agents were taking multiple offers, and they would advertise submit your highest and best, which is basically, whether they knew it or not, they were conducting an auction. So auctions work in both a buyer's market and a seller's market. A lot of agents don't know that. A lot of agents believe that they're just um, used for distressed properties in a buyer's market. And I'm going to show you some websites tonight. I'm going to share my screen, which I tried to do yesterday and wasn't able to do it. But I'm going to show you my screen tonight. I'm going to show you some websites that only sell luxury properties. They only sell $1 million homes, $1 million properties. And here's the rob. Okay. A lot of agents right now got in when the market was super hot, and listings, there were a lot of listings. You just list a property, you get multiple offers, and they didn't have to work too hard to make a decent living. But now interest rates have risen. Home sellers are locked in at 2 and 3%. They don't want to trade up. So the market is kind of tight right now, and inventory is very low. And these homeowners are not going to be trading up into a 7% mortgage. They're going to hold on as long as they can. Now, there are sellers out there that need to sell, and they will sell. But even those properties, when they come on the market, are being snatched up very quickly with multiple offers. So it's very difficult as an agent right now to survive. And if you were an agent last year and you worked, I don't know, 90%, let's say 90% effort to earn X amount, at what percent do you have to work moving forward? How hard are you going to have to work to make the same income that you made last year? And will you? If you made 150,000 last year, how much time did you have to put in? How many listings did you have to um, list and sell to earn that? Are you going to be able to pull that off in this environment that we're in? What is your plan? So what we're talking about here tonight is an opportunity, something for you to consider, and that is selling real estate at auction. And there are so many benefits to selling real estate at auction. Number one, they work in both a buyer's market and a seller's market, in a down market and a hot market. And we're coming into what I think is going to be a down market, especially if we go into a recession, which I think we are going to. Um, Auctions will work well in that situation. We're already seeing foreclosures rising, pre-foreclosures rising, and there are already a lot of distressed properties in a lot of markets. And I specialize in distressed property auctions. Some auctioneers specialize in luxury property auctions. I'm going to show you some of those tonight. And then other auctioneers specialize in commercial property auctions. I'm going to show you some of those as well tonight. So whether you specialize in residential or commercial properties, you can benefit from selling at auction. And I'm not telling you to, or I'm not suggesting that you should drop traditional sales completely. What I'm suggesting is the market is changing, and it's very competitive. It's fiercely competitive. And what you need to do as an agent in this market is you need to have more ammunition. You need to have a unique selling proposition. You need to have a strategy to help beat out the competition. And let me give you one strategy um, selling at auction. Number one, you can sell a property for a 0% commission because real estate auctioneers charge the buyer a buyer's premium. So that's just one strategy. Imagine if you're on a listing appointment and you could tell the seller you could list their property for 0%. Or imagine if you could run an ad that said, I can sell your property for 0%, no flat fees, 0% commission. Seller pays zero because you're charging the buyer a buyer's premium. The other benefit is that you can sell properties as is. So if you're selling distressed properties that have structural damage or fire damage or have been damaged from a storm like the hurricane that we had recently in Florida, you could sell these properties um, without an inspection contingency. You sell them as is. So you don't have to worry about taking an offer on a property that's been structurally damaged, having an inspection and have them renegotiate. Because what investors usually do in that situation is they just tie the property up, they dehorse it, they take it off the market, and then they try to renegotiate after the inspection. So what an auction does is it it forces the buyer to conduct their inspection prior to submitting their offer, prior to submitting their bid. There are no inspection contingencies. We still encourage and highly recommend that sellers or buyers conduct their inspections before submitting a bid. Um, we don't tell them that they can't, but a lot of times they do. They submit bids without doing their inspection sight unseen, believe it or not. The other benefit of selling at auction is that you're selling for all cash. There are no um, mortgage contingencies, so you don't have to worry about a deal not appraising. So there are a lot of other benefits. These are just a few, and I tell you this because I want you to consider this as an option for you to add into what you're already doing, which is you're out selling real estate. But the most important thing I can tell you about being a real estate auctioneer is that we only work with sellers. And if you've read the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Keller Williams, um, it says in there that you should always be the listing agent. And I agree with that 100%. You have more leverage. There's so many benefits of just being the listing agent. But it's hard for a lot of agents because the listing inventory is so low. But with auctions, it opens you up to a whole new realm of, or source rather, of real estate listing opportunities with pre foreclosures, distressed properties, vacant properties, abandoned properties, um, properties that are in probate, which is a micro niche. I call it a micro niche that is virtually untapped and it's never going to go away. Unfortunately, people are always going to die. So probate um, is a great source for finding real estate auction listings, and selling probate at auction is great because of the fact that you can sell them as is and you're selling for all cash. A lot of times, executors and trustees um, or administrators have properties that are in disrepair. They need to make repairs, but they don't have the money um, in the estate to make these repairs, or they don't want to take money out of the estate to make these repairs. So a lot of times, selling at auction is the best option for them. And then sometimes, I've sold properties in probate and they need to be cleaned out. People live in these properties for 20, 30, 40 years. And they've never cleaned these properties out. And it's overwhelming for the executor or the administrator. So with an auction property, you can sell them as is with anything they want to leave behind. They could just take all the personal items that they want out, and we leave that behind, all the other items, or we can recommend someone to go in and do a clean out for them. But anyway, one other benefit of selling real estate at auction is that you can act as an investor. as an agent. So what that means is you can actually, because you're always looking for listings to sell at auction, you might come across a property that might be a good investment property. And instead of buying it and closing on it, what you could do is tie it up with a purchase contract and then auction your contract off for a spread, an assignment fee rather, which is a spread, the difference between your purchase price and the price that you're selling it for or signing it for. And that works really well when you're selling at auction. To give you an example, I was called to auction an apartment building once, and instead of auctioning it or listing it, I made an offer to purchase it, and then I held an auction and I assigned my rights to buy the apartment building to an investor for a fee, and that was my spread. And I earned more than I would have if I auctioned the property. It was for a bank, and I fully disclosed, that I was going to assign it, which I recommend that if you're going to do that, you always disclose that you're going to be assigning it for a profit. But anyway, I just want to show you a few luxury properties that are being sold at auction today. And I'm going to show you a few commercial properties. And then I'm going to show you a few sources, a few resources that you can use to look into learning how to sell real estate at auction a little further. So we are at 28 minutes now. I'll go as quick as I can. I'll show you a few of these sites, and then I'll give you some resources, and then we'll wrap it up. So now I am going to share my screen, and there it is. I didn't do that yesterday. So if you went to Google and you did a Google search, here I did a Google search for luxury property auctions. You'll see a ton of luxury property auction companies like Concierge Auctions, Paramount Realty, Interlux, Platinum, Williams and Williams, Mansion Global, Supreme Auctions, Luxury Estates, Heritage Auctions. I'm just going to show you. Here's one site, Sotheby's Concierge Auctions, selling to the highest bidder. And let's see if we can see some of their current properties. So here's some of their current properties. As you can see, these are not distressed properties. These are beautiful $1 million estates that they're selling at auction. Let's see if we can see some of their sold properties, if we can get some prices. These are some of their solds. I don't see any prices, but you can tell these are in the millions, right? Here's one, 4,256,000, 5,079,000. This looks like it's in euro. That's 1,086, 7 million, 12 million, 2 million, 1.6, 3.5, 6.9. So I wanted to show you this just to dispel the myth that auctions are just for distressed properties. Let's see if we can look at another. So here we're on Interlux. Here's a few auctions coming up. March 20th. You can see this is a beautiful beachfront property. Here's one in Texas. Let's see if we can see some prices here. But these are luxury properties. Here's one that sold for $4 million prior to auction. A lot of times properties will sell before they even hit the auction block, just from you advertising that there's going to be an auction. Here's one, 1.2 million, 2,585,000. Now, I'm not saying that you have to get into luxury auction business. Like I said, I specialize in distress, and we make up to 20% commission. So I'm happy with that. Here's one, 4.8. So I think you get the point. You can do your own search. Here's one coming up for East Hampton, $4.3 million. Let's see. I'll do another one here. This is Mansions Global. Here's some properties that have sold at auction. 125 million hits the auction block, 260 acre in Los Angeles. I mean, that's huge. 27 million. So that's the opportunity that you have if you wanted to get into the luxury auction market. Now let's take a look at commercial. We're on the 10X I won't do more than 10x. There's a lot of other commercial sites, but in the name of time, because it's Saturday and it's already 8 o'clock, I'll just go through a few. So these are commercial, and we have somebody in our network today that DM'd me, and he said he wanted to tap into the commercial market because the commercial market right now is not doing so well. So there's a lot of commercial property sellers out there that are looking for ways to liquidate. So look at some of these on 10x, 3.5 million starting bid. These are just starting bids: 3 million, 2.9, 2.1. Now I've seen starting bids in the hundreds of millions, $100 million starting bid, $200 million starting bid in commercial properties. These are low. There's sites out there that have starting bids 10 times higher than these. And you can find them. Just look at a few of the sites. But these are the commercial properties. Here's some high starting bids: 6.5 million, 5 million starting bid, 4 million. So I think you get the point. So let me stop sharing. Excuse me. So what I want to show you now is how do you get started in the real estate auction business? What I want to show you now is a book that I wrote. Let's see. You could start here. This is a book that I wrote. It's on Kindle, audiobook, hardcover, and paperback. And the title of the book is Selling Real Estate at Auction: The Key to Scaling Your Business and Skyrocketing Your Income as a Real Estate Agent. Here's the cover of the book. You can go to Amazon and you can even look inside the book. Hopefully I'm sharing that right now. Let me go back. Nope. There it is. See, look, I checked that. All right, so you can go into Amazon. You can click on the book here. Let me close this. So here's the book: Kindle, audiobook, hardcover, paperback. The Kindle version is only $9. Okay, yeah, $9. And then the audiobook, if you're driving and you don't want to read, and then I like the hardcover, and then paperback. But order the book. It really gets into. I'll look inside again, and we'll look at the table of contents. It really gets into all the insider secrets. 30 years, 32 years I've been in this business, and it condenses my 32 years of experience into a short book, cuts out all the fat, and gives you all the insider secrets of selling real estate at auction. And I'll tell you that if you try to go to work or try to get in with a real estate auction company, you probably won't be able to do it because it's a very secretive, tight knit um, uh, niche business. Okay. And for years, I had very little to no competition because a lot of agents don't understand how to sell real estate at auction. They think it's just for distressed properties. So we liked it. Everyone in my company liked the fact that we had no competition. And there's a reason why I'm telling. So you're probably wondering why. So why are you sharing all your secrets now? And there's a reason why. And I talk about it in the book. All right. So here's the chapters. You can go to Amazon and you can read the introduction, the first and second chapter without even buying the book. Okay. And this book, again, I started this webinar talking about do you believe a book can change your life, or a course or whatever? And I shared some stories about an auction that changed my life and a book to change my life, but there have been others. So you can go to sellingrealestatatoutauctionbook.com and it'll take you right to Amazon, or you can go to Amazon and search Selling Real Estate at Auction and the book will come up. And so you can buy the book or just look inside and figure out if this is something, an opportunity for you, um, that you haven't considered, which could help your real estate business weather the storm that we're getting into. And I know that it can. Okay, so here are some other resources. So you got the book. If you don't want to read the book, okay, I'm going to share this tab. I took the book. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Yeah, there it is. So I took the book, and like I said, I am a state approved real estate instructor for the state of New York. And so I teach brokers and agents on a number of different topics. And I haven't worked for a real estate school in some time because I started my own real estate auctioneer school a long time ago, about 15, 20 years ago. So I only teach for my own school now. So I took the book and I converted it and repurposed it into a master class. So if you don't want to read, if you don't like reading, which is fine, a lot of people don't have time, there's the audio book, but I converted it into a master class. And it has slides and a lot more visual if you're a visual learner. And right now, the master class is only $47. It's regularly going to be priced at 97, but to promote it and to kick off as a promotion, I'm only charging $47. Okay, so you can go to selling real estate at auction masterclass.com. It'll take you right to this. And if you're following me on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this from, if you want to put or follow me or put your contact information in the chat or reach out to me, um, I'll send you the links to any of these courses and books that I have. Anyway, so this is the masterclass. If you go to the website, it talks to you about the masterclass. It's based on the book. It is a primer for the full course on becoming a certified real estate auctioneer. And as part of the masterclass, you're also going to get free access to our auction network community, which is huge right now for agents because you should join a community, whether it's mine or someone else's, a mastermind or a group, to help you, to help push you forward and to help keep you motivated during this highly competitive market that we're going through. Joining a community of like-minded real estate agents can really help your business. So as part of the masterclass, you're going to get a live session with me in the community. We do a Q&A session. We do a mastermind. So you're going to get these access to these live sessions, these live workshops as part of this masterclass. But this masterclass will really take that book that I wrote to the next level with the information that we talk about. So inside of masterclass, you're going to learn how to maximize your income with auctions. You're going to learn how to find property to sell at auction. So it's worth it, just even if you didn't do anything with the auctions, just to find these motivated sellers that we tap into. You'll learn how to use auctions to earn 5 times more per sale. I show you in the book and in the masterclass. I also teach you the strategy. I call it the 0% commission strategy, or the zero commission strategy. I'll show you the strategy, how to charge 0% commission and still make a fortune. So how much is one sale, one real estate sale worth to you? All right, on a traditional side. And remember, when you're selling at auction, you're going to earn anywhere from 10 to 20%. Because we're a specialty niche, so that we're able to charge a lot more. I'm not saying you'll get that on every deal, but how much is one sale worth to you? One real estate sale. So this masterclass is nominal compared to the amount of money that you can make after attending. So we're also going to show you how to sell probate property at auction. I give you some case studies, and I also give you some case studies on flipping real estate deals at auction. And then at the end of the masterclass, if you want to take it to the next level, I talk to you about how to become a CREA certified real estate auctioneer. And then you're going to get free lifetime access to the real estate auction network community. I'll show you that in a second. And then there's the book. I'll just read this to you real quick. By enrolling in the 10-lesson masterclass version of my book, you will learn how to earn up to 5 times more per sale using auctions. You will also learn how to use auctions to find, list, and sell more real estate in a month than most agents do in a year. Whether you're just getting started as a real estate agent or a seasoned real estate broker, selling real estate at auction is the simplest way to earn 6 figures or more in your real estate business. And this masterclass will show you exactly how to get started. And yes, even in this market that we're in, especially in this market that we're in. All right. So the last few things I want to share with you are this is the network, and you can visit the website for the network at realestateauction.net. And this is a free community that you're going to have access to when you attend the Real Estate Auction Masterclass. We have weekly live workshops. We have the Real Estate Auction community, and this is new. We just launched it, and we launched it because we really want to support anyone who attends any of our programs, anyone who attends our real estate auctioneer school, which I'll show you that in a second. We want to support our certified real estate auctioneer graduates and our alumni. And we found that this community is going to be a game changer, because once you graduate from one of our programs, once you attend, any of our classes, if you're in this community, if you're in this network, you're going to have access to us 24/7. We set this up so that it's geared towards helping you succeed. The other reason is we have just created and we're beta testing our own online real estate auction software. So once you're part of the community, if you wanted to conduct online auctions, and that's the only type of auctions that I conduct now. I am a broker and the CEO of realestateauction.com, which is an online real estate brokerage firm that specializes in selling real estate at auction. But the only way to have access to that and to be a part of that, if you wanted to use our online platform, is to be a part of this free community after attending one of our trainings. And the reason being is we want to show you, we want to help you become successful. We want to show you how to use our platform, and you'll be able to participate in platform fees that we charge to our buyers in the form of buyer's premiums. So there's a lot more at stake here. The opportunity is much bigger than what I'm presenting on this short webinar. So anyway, the book talks about it. So read the book, and I talk about the opportunities and the benefits of selling real estate at auction for the agent and the seller. And I give you all the different resources, and I go into deeper depth in the masterclass. So read the book, attend the masterclass. Here's the network. You'll automatically get access to the network. You can read about that and what's in the network. There I am there. All right. So let's see if I, so here's the auction school. I'll share this. If you wanted to take it to the next level after the masterclass, after getting into the network, you can enroll in the Real Estate Auctioneer School. And this is a 40 video certification course, all online, and you attend at your own pace if you want to take it to the next level. And then you would become a certified real estate auctioneer. You'd get a certificate of completion, and you'd get the CREA, certified real estate auctioneer designation, which is a registered trademark with the Patent and Trademark, United States Patent and Trademark Office. So that's taking it to the next level. You don't have to worry about that right now. I would suggest getting the book, reading the book, and taking the masterclass, investing in that, and it'll open your eyes to the opportunity of selling real estate at auction. And then you can make a decision on whether or not you want to take it to the next level. And even if you don't, we work with affiliates. Okay. And an affiliate, what they do is, if we have an auction in your area, let's say you're part of the network and you are in Buffalo, New York, we have affiliates around the entire state of New York, and we're going to eventually expand outside of the state of New York. But how an affiliate works is, even if you don't go through our training program, if you're an affiliate and we have an auction in your area, we'll call you up and we'll ask if you want to work with us on the auction. And what you would be doing is placing signs, taking pictures, doing walkthroughs with buyers, and then you would earn the buyer broker fee plus bonuses that we pay out from the buyer's premium. So there's opportunities to work with us as an affiliate auction agent as well. So what I recommend is follow us on any of the channels that you're watching this webinar on, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Follow us there. We're going to be putting out this webinar um, often. Also, the book has a lot of information, the masterclass and the network. I highly suggest any real estate agent right now that is not that is struggling, that is not um, certain about their future in real estate sales. I highly suggest taking a look at the real estate auction business. All right. Well, it's been 46 minutes. I really appreciate everyone being here. Please like this if you would, and share it with other brokers and agents that you know. And follow us because, like I said, I'll be doing many more of these presentations in the future. And I see Landon Farino. Let's see if I can share this. He says, howdy, howdy. I don't know if you're a broker or an agent, Landon, but thank you for being here. And I just want to wish everyone a happy rest of their weekend. And thank you again for joining me on the live. And hopefully it went well. Thanks again, and we'll see you.